everybody.
Hey, it's Sunday evening at 7 o'clock.
Yes, it is.
Another Sunday. We got to have a church service today. It was great, inspiring, and so much needed with all this stuff that is going on, and we haven't been able to meet. And we can breathe.
Oh, that's
we have
another
clean
great
air.
thing.
That's a real blessing. It's been way too long.
Yeah, it was sad because even our dog didn't want to go on walks while it was so smoky out. You could tell he didn't feel well, and
Yeah.
so he's been really cute because now, man, he just comes running because he knows it's nice out and that we can breathe again.
Yeah. And maybe I'll get to start walking again soon. I got a heel problem, and it's tried it once and it made it worse, so I gotta be careful. This old age isn't for wusses.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I robbed the cradle.
Yeah, you're all alone. Yeah, I just have the aches and pains out of sympathy.
Oh, yeah.
No. Truth is, we're super healthy
Yeah.
and we're really grateful
Yeah.
for our health. Okay.
So, tonight we're going to be reading chapters 45 and 46 from our book, In Spite of Us, a love story about second chances. It's available in lots of places, and you can check it out at the library or your local bookstore. Or you can show up here every Sunday and we'll read it to you, and you can go back and pick up what you haven't seen, because
I just posted the link that you can go to YouTube and find all the chapters. How many weeks are we on? 23?
Week 23 out of 27 or 28 or
Well, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
We're just
So-
going to keep going till it's done.
Yeah. So, yeah. And before we get going on reading these chapters, I want to read a review from that have been done or posted, and this is an Amazon review that was written by Miss Confusing Much. Raw and honest story of redemption. An inspiring story of how God meets people where they are, takes them by the hand, and brings them to hope. A true story without pretense that pulls no punches. Thank you for that nice review, Mrs. K. And
Yeah, I think Mrs. K, because I don't think you pronounced that right. I can't pronounce it, but I don't think that you pronounced it right. But
I
maybe
think
you're
it's
better
an
at that than I
alias.
am.
I think it's an alias.
No, it's not. I know who it is.
Oh, okay. I don't.
She's a fellow author.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was confused much, so.
Yeah, I know. That's what I. Her name is not confused much. Okay, are we ready
we're
to
ready
start
to
on this? Okay, tonight we're doing chapters 45 and 46. So, as I said last week, at this stage of the story, you'll see more and more why God wanted me safe in his arms. You might think that some of the things in the upcoming chapters are just normal life stuff, but for me, an anxious, obsessive alcoholic who had been diagnosed twice as manic depressive, I would not have survived without God. No way. And God gave me every tool I would need to get through the upcoming heartbreaks. He offered up the Bible, and surprisingly, the Word became my lifeline. He surrounded me with people who cared. He kneaded my brittle heart, filled it with fire to learn and grow. He pursued me until I was ready to hear, see, believe, and change. And he even gave me a new purpose to persevere, my first grandson. Okay, chapter 45 is called The Buffalo and His Brother. Assumed name tags mess with my head. They always have. Titles like wife, mother, divorcee, dangling with unwritten instructions, dripping in expectations. Life flicks by like the photos in a flip book from out of a box of Cracker Jacks. I don't know how I got from point A to point B, a blurred journey, a traveled road of which there's no recollection. Like now, kapow, kazam, we're grandparents. How'd that happen? I can speak for both of us when I say that this is not on our to-do list. It's not on a to-don't list, or any list. Like grave plots or funeral plans, we have other priorities. Thinking about that stuff is like dwelling on your digestive system while a delectable chocolate melts in your mouth. As for Sandy, one day, lightheartedly, I mentioned growing old together. He responds,
Well, I don't plan on getting old, so you'd better not either.
I laugh. Then I realize he's not kidding. Granted, he may not win the old fart battle, but like the Terminator, he'll keep getting back up claiming, I'll be back, until beaten by inevitability. After he lost his job at Comprehensive Mental Health, he stood up, returned to college, and earned a master's degree, all while working as a para-ed and helping me with our busy store. After a stint of graveyard and swing shifts at a drug and alcohol treatment center for teenage felons, he accepted the position as a counselor for primary age students in Natchez, a rural bedroom community of Yakima. At 6 a.m., he starts each day making coffee for the AA meeting at the church down the street from our house, leaving the meeting 10 minutes early for work. Minutes found are spent renovating our home, sanding floors, scraping popcorn plaster off the ceiling, refinishing woodwork, painting, or hunting treasures for our antique shop. He's happy. I'm happy for him. The hitch is this. The screw you, nose-thumbing babe Sandy fell in love with has changed. It's as if God pinned my eyelids back, forcing me to see the dust bunnies I've swept under the rug. Jay, leaving for college, swept out a pile of regrets from under the bed. The perpetual ticking of the timer ends with a sharp ding. Time's up. Put away all your plans to spend more time, fix things, make up for, do over. The gong has sounded. Jay is drinking and possibly doing drugs. The out-of-character tattletale being he is breaking promises. Jay, I only ask that I know where you are. If you are going to stay out all night, I need to know, please. No worries, Mom. I'll be home early tonight. I promise. Around 4 a.m., I got out of bed driving around in the locally named hole of Yakima, imagining horrors and praying God would take care of my son. He didn't show until the next afternoon with a fresh batch of promises. I called little Sue. Let go and let God, she said. I did, for nearly 30 minutes. God plucked Jay from Washington State out of my arm's reach. I'm proud and happy he's enrolled at ITT Tech in Arizona, but I didn't expect the empty nest to feel like an abduction. I wasn't done. I wanted to make things right, fix the wrongs. The week he left for college, I called my sponsor obsessively. One day, after a heavy sigh, she gave me a task. Make yourself a God can. What's that? I asked. Turns out it's a coffee can with a slit cut in the lid for a slot. Whenever I'm obsessing about things I can do nothing about, I'm to jot it on a scrap of paper, slip it into the slot, and say, I can't, but God can. At this rate, I may need more than one, as it's filling up fast with folded scraps scribbled with J. Keeping your eyes open, tossing denial to the wind, choosing to live life aware and act responsibly is not an easy thing to do sober, and impossible if you're not. By the frequency that people remind me to let go and let God, I don't think I'm progressing as fast as some in the program. The cliches sound great. I can even say I mean them when I spit them out, but they don't stick. It's like those silly exercises psychologists have you do, like standing in front of the mirror proclaiming how beautiful you are. Wouldn't that work better without the mirror? The problem is, my denial skills are no longer viable, and even 72 zillion AA cliches cannot tame my beast. Progress, not perfection. Easy does it. It works if you work it. First things first. Live and let live. I'm not saying they don't work, just not for me. At best, they have a fleeting placebo effect. After which, I remember I'm an adulteress, a liar, a wretch, and a coward. There's no sugar-coated cliche for that. Along with working the program, I've been reading the Bible. My pride of a college degree is not helping me understand this book. Most times I feel like I might as well be reading Latin or secret code version. But then I'll come along a phrase, scripture I guess you'd call it, that not only rings clear, but also brings peace. I even memorized a few to hang on to. My go-to verse is, for God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of self-control. That's 2 Timothy 1:7. When anxiety pecks at my skull like a hungry vulture, I say the words until the nasty things flies away. One thing that helps my understanding of the Bible is listening to Christian radio while driving to our store in Ellensburg. I have to laugh at the timing. I will have just read about David dancing around in his undies or Peter's miraculous prison escape, and I click on the radio hearing this same scripture. Even weirder than the radio syncing to my scripture readings is that my customers seem to all be Bible-reading churchgoers who turn every conversation to God. I don't know how it happens. A generic guy in a suit will approach the counter to buy a Victorian jewelry casket for his wife. In less than a minute, the conversation turns from Queen Victoria's persnicketiness to the Queen of Sheba and on to the Bible. And stranger than that is finding myself reciting one of the few scriptures I've memorized to a customer who confided the news that her husband is seriously ill. The scripture just happens to be one she knows, and she thanks me for bringing it to mind. Weird stuff. And it happens every day. It's getting hard to deny that God is, well, hanging around me. I know I feel different than I ever have. Maybe it's peace. I don't know. I do know I'm different. Almost confident. Nearly comfortable in my own skin. The name tag Grandma or Nana in my case fits like a snuggly slipper. I have a second chance to do things right. Haley is a good mom, loving and committed. My heart is to come alongside her to help. I'm grateful my worry that she is the anti-mom is wrong. I have the perfect Nana setup with them living in our backyard rental house. I take Evan whenever I can. My friends ask if being a grandma makes me feel old. I don't understand it myself, but giggling with my grandboy makes me feel young. I try to stay clear of Sandy, give him space, but he hovers over Evan like a fairy tale papa bear. Evan's nature is pure joy. Who doesn't want to be around that? The other evening, I'm in the basement folding laundry. I didn't hear Haley come in with Evan and leave. Climbing the stairs with a basket of clothes, I see Sandy holding him like a sack of spuds, singing some silly song and dancing a jig like he's Jiminy Cricket. The song had something to do with a buffalo and his brother. Staying quiet, I watch and listen, amazed. When the song ends, I ask, "What are you singing?"
I wasn't singing.
He says, "I'm hopeful."
Okay, well, I'm going to read chapter 46, and before I read them, I'll tell you a little bit about where we are, or the backstory. I learned a long time ago, probably in an AA meeting, to plan the plan, but don't plan the outcome. And I'm one of the world's worst at this, because I set a goal and this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I have to have, and quite often the wheels fall off. I originally, after I got sober and went back to school, I was going to be a special ed teacher, a high school special ed teacher, teaching industrial arts. The wheels fell off. I went to work for Comprehensive Mental Health and started working with a lot of troubled kids, and they were it just lightened my heart, and so I made plans to do that. And work with these troubled kids, and hopefully they don't get to be the troubled teenagers that I worked with in the alcohol and drug treatment center for teenage felons. Well, the wheels fell off of that. And went back to school and to become a counselor, a psychologist, and still had this, always had this goal, what I was going to make out of it, what I was going to do. Well, I ended up working in a primary school, kindergarten, first and second grade. That's way, way below what age-wise, whatever I had planned, but hey, maybe God was working me towards being a grandpa. So that's what a lot of this story is about, this chapter, and then at the end talks about a piece of rental property that I bought. Another goal, this is going to be a lifelong income builder and planning for the future. And again, plan the plan, but don't plan the outcome. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read chapter 46. I'm done with kitty garden. A year ago, I'm lying next to Deb, ready to indulge in some playtime, when a tear drops on my chest. What's wrong, sweetie?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? You're crying.
I'm sad because we'll never have a baby together. I'd love to play Mommy and Daddy with you. It's a special time. I wish we could have shared it. Wouldn't you like to have a baby together?
Ladies and gentlemen, the mood has left the room. The planet, the universe, dead, gone, kaput. Since we've both had procedures rendering us sterile, I respond confident my true feelings are safe. Sure. 6 months later, Deb announced we're having a baby via Haley. How did a phantasmal, buzz-killer conversation reap a bouncing baby boy? Am I the victim of a spell, a hex? I don't want a baby. I like things as they are. No, I won't be the guy raising his wife's grandkids. Not happening. To my surprise and relief, Haley stepped up to the mom plate. I was certain she'd stomp her foot at first base, yell foul, and walk off, expecting me and Deb to finish the game. I respect Deb for wanting to stand by her daughter. She sees this as a second chance to do things right. That's all fine and dandy as long as I am not expected to be the sucker grandpa holding a pile of bills and changing diapers. The other day, Deb was in the basement folding clothes when Haley drops the baby by for some Nana time. I figured the little guy might start fussing when she left, so I walk over to his carrier. He smiles at me like I am a giant sugar teat. For some reason, the kid likes me. When I take him out of his carrier because he seems uncomfortable, he looks me in the eye and laughs. An invitation to play. For a baby, he's kind of cool. It must be Deb's persistent commands proclaiming, "This baby will be a blessing." I guess it won't kill me to hang out with him once in a while, even change a few diapers, as long as it's on my terms. We can take naps together, have a few laughs, but if they expect me to be responsible, I'm done. Things are finally going my way. Come hell, high water, or babies, I'm not giving up my life. I get paid to play with kindergartners and first graders. After years dealing with gangbangers, felon parents, or worse, my problems have switched from finding a semi-automatic pistol on the van to little Miss Sierra's independent issues. The First weeks of school, I cruise and observe returning first graders and kindergarten recruits. One square peg cutie with orange frizzy hair dons a subliminal t-shirt reading, "Attention counselors, I'm a behavior problem." Within hours, Sierra becomes the #1 name dropped by teachers and staff. "Sierra, sit down. Sierra, come back. Sierra, stay put." 3 days into the first week, Sierra ups her game, moving me from observation to red alert. 10 minutes before lunch, she saunters over to the playground door, collects her pink quilted parka with a fake fur hood and purple Barney backpack from the row of hooks. Returning to her desk, she packs up crayons and papers, and as if late for a prestigious appointment, heads for the exit. "Sierra, you need to come sit down. We'll be going to lunch soon," I say, pointing to her backpack, her empty desk. For Sierra, the trial membership has ended. She had made her decision. Looking my way in a strikingly adult manner, she replies, "I'm going home. I don't like it here. I'm done with kitty garden." "I see. But look outside, Sierra," I say as she looks out the window. "There's no bus to take you home. Why don't you stay and have lunch with me in the lunchroom? Today is cheese zombie day. I'm hungry. Are you?" After a momentary contemplative delay, she returns to her desk, seated with arms across her chest and pink sparkly shoes swinging to and fro. She waits for Miss Stevens to announce, "Please line up to wash hands." Lunch is when I do my finest work. I never bother to check the lunchroom patrol rotation schedule because I always eat with the kids. I prefer the deafening squeals of the short squad over the drowsy drone in the teacher's lounge. The cafeteria is my laboratory where trust is earned. Upon entering, tiny fingers point and yell, "Mr. Palmer with the mole." I'm celebrity of sorts, rather like Barney or Big Bird, only instead of yellow feathers or purple fur, it's a mole. The button-like mole protrudes from the center of my forehead. Like magic, when pressed, my tongue shoots out of my mouth, causing mass giggles and clamoring to please do it again. With Sierra at my side, I inform the crowd that the magical mole is out of order today. She tags along, aping my moves as I slide a plastic tray across the stainless steel table, accepting a zombie and a carton of chocolate milk from the lunch ladies. She follows me to a sparse table sitting across from me, but not making eye contact. As she bites into her cheesy, warm dough, I proceed with care. "Geez, zombies are my favorite. What do you think?" "Okay," she answers, diving for another bite. "You don't like school?" "No." "Why not?" "I like it at home better." "What would you do at home?" "I'd play with my toys." "Yeah, I like to play with toys too." "Did you know I have boxes of Legos in my office? Big ones, little ones. I even have a box of all pink ones." "I want to go home." "I know, but if you go home, you'll miss recess. I thought we could play Foursquare with some of the other kids. What do you think?" Once Sierra got involved playing with other kids, convincing her to stay until the next recess was easy. She just needed a reason to stay and put up with the classroom busy work. Some of my little guys with tough home lives need a little more than Sierra's easy fix. My specialty is called play therapy. My tools are Legos, picture books, puppets, and the infamous magic mole. I look forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays at school. I'm hoping soon the position will become full-time. Sundays and Mondays, I work at the store giving Deb a break. Wednesdays, I hate. We invested in a fourplex located in my childhood stomping grounds. It may not have been the Nob Hill region of Yakima, but back then it was a hearty, healthy place to grow up. Today it's gangland, known for drive-by shooting, drugs, and graffiti. Deb and I agreed to invest in property. From there, we disagreed.
How can I be a landlord of a place I would never live in? If you do this, I won't be involved. I will concentrate on our other business.
It's been a great investment. It's making money. It's just not as easy as at first. Wednesdays and other times, I won't admit, I haul off garbage from overloaded dumpsters, spray for cockroaches, fill fist-sized holes in the drywall, paint over graffiti, and the worst job, beg tenants to pay their rent. It's crazy. I carefully screen potential renters, selecting honest, vulnerable people who need a hand up, like single parents or recovering alcoholics, the kind of people I know will appreciate the help and the person who trusted and took a chance on them. I watch them move in, proud to have played a part in their journey to a better life. All is hunky-dory until the next month's rent is due. That's when my down-and-outer, who just needs a chance, turns into an actor, a liar, a schemer, and an ace system user. The sweet 20-something mom moves her drug dealer boyfriend in. The single dad quits going to work, stays home, watching The Price is Right, drinking cases of Budweiser beer, and the white-haired bun-top grandmother disappears, leaving her gangbanger son and homies to a place to flop and trash. I believed I could be a kind, understanding landlord, earning respect and fair treatment. Instead, around the first of every month, I knock on doors that have voices behind them but never a soul to answer. Resorting to tricks, I wait, cornering them late at night or on a day they don't expect me, only to hear sad tales and promises. Wanting to believe and not having anything more than threats, I extend the rent a week, then two, until I have no choice but to hope they will do as promised and pay double next month. Inevitably, owing months of back rent, they disappear in the middle of the night, leaving the one-time pristine apartment needing new carpet, drywall, and appliances. It drives Deb crazy.
I love that about you. You want to see the good in people, but I hate watching them treat you like this.
You mean I'm a sap?
Well, there's that, too.
Okay. Chapter 45 and chapter 46 from our book, In Spite of Us, a love story about second chances.
So, if you want to be part of a drawing, we need you to share this video. You can share it later, whenever you watch it. You don't have to watch it live. We need enough people different people. We keep having the same people share it, and we need new people to share it so that you can be one of the ones eligible. We have 3 books left to give away.
Yep.
So, and it's called Chicken Soup for the Soul, 101 Feel-Good Stories. Laughter is the best medicine. And there's some great stories in here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So that's it for this evening. We're glad you could show up and be with us. And maybe we'll see you next week at 7 o'clock
Hope
on
to
Sunday
see
evening.
you next week.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody.
Mhm.